Alright, now in HTML, to edit a text or a particular paragraph or just anything typed in by using the HTML code, you're going to use the font tag. So I'm just going to do a quick one there to change something, to change the color of this guy here. You understand? So now why am I going to use the font tag is because if I use the text attribute of body, you know, the text attribute set here is black. If I say, okay, I want to change the color to red, it's going to affect the entire document. Alright, it's going to change everything to red, and I don't want that. Okay, so I want to maintain that color black. You know, black is the color by default, so even if I remove this text here, it's going to still be black. Alright, so but what I want to do is to change just this color alone, just as welcome here. So I'm going to impute the font tag, fonts. I'm going to say close fonts. Okay. Alright, it's not going to have any effect because you've not added some kind of attribute, just like adding the image without the source attribute is not going to bring in anything for you. Alright, so the first attribute for the fonts is the anything could be the font actually. So let me just say face. You understand? That's talking about the font face. Understand? Now what I'm going to do now is to make use of Arial. So right now you're going to know a couple of fonts face font names. Okay, so this is just Arial. If you know a couple of font face, you could just go ahead and then impute them. Let me say Monotype Cursiva. Okay, so but in my own opinion, I'm going to advise you to stay clear from fancy fonts because it might render well here. What I mean by render, it may show well here, but in another user's computer it's not going to show well. Why? Simply because that user doesn't have this font in his or her system. So when I'm working with websites, I like sticking to a simple font like Arial that is always available in every system. Okay, so that's what that's what I try to do, except maybe I'm doing some kind of graphic design. Maybe I want to write some text here, understand, with maybe with Fireworks, just edit the text together with the image, export it. But in that case there's nothing wrong because the text is already attached to the image, so the browser is going to see everything together as just one image, so there's nothing wrong there. But for plain text like this, I'm going to advise you to stick to common fonts like this one and this one. Okay, so to avoid problem in another user's computer. Alright, so this how to change the fonts. You're just gonna impute the font face there, and it's settled. It's settled. I mean, it's settled. Alright, so or you can say Tahoma. That's a font also. Okay, so it depends on you, but in my case, simple things are what I'm gonna use, like Arial. Alright, so I'm gonna stick to Arial for my fonts. Now the next thing I'm gonna do here is to give it a what's it called, color. So color equal, let me use blue. I don't like using too many color when I work, so I already got a blue here, so I think I'm gonna use this now so it's matched with this. Okay, so I think that's a good graphic design concept, not to use too many colors when designing. Okay, so if I'm gonna write something here, I could use something that's related to his hand here, or something like white that's gonna portray good color, instead of using maybe like 5 colors in just one design. It doesn't make sense. Okay, so that's a course for another class or a course for another day. Alright, so but right now I'm just showing you how to change it, the fonts. Okay, now let's take for instance now, okay, we've just done this now, but if I just want to style this, the L and the C, that means my font tag is gonna close here. It understands well. That seems like a kind of native language, Ome. Alright, so the entire font tag is gonna start, where's the L? Yeah, that is WE LCOME. You understand? So the font, I'm actually styling the L and the C. You understand? So that means every other thing will take the default font face and font color, but just this guy is going to be styled. Okay, so that's just how to work with fonts here. Now the next thing I'm going to show you is that using the fonts you could set the size also. You understand? So I can say font size, that's just size, equal 20. Okay, you see this appears bigger now than the rest of its crew. Okay, so that's just it basically. Now there's still another thing that you could do, but not with the font tag, and that's to make something bold. Okay, now like let's say the welcome, I want it to be bold. Let's come over here. Where's the welcome? Now I'm not talking about this welcome here, but I'm talking about the other one down there. Okay, welcome to Pentecost Church. Okay, so let me just use the H1 now and see the potential problem that you're going to run into. H1, close H1. You see, now when you're using H1, it automatically wraps every other content down, because when you say this guy is a heading, then you're not expecting anything to be at the front of it. Okay, so it's expected that it's gonna be the king of the jungle, so every other thing must bow down to it. Okay, so in this case I'm gonna say, hey, you're not really the king of the jungle, but just a privileged servant, so just a little captain band is going to be placed on your hand. So what am I going to use now? Before now we use the B tag as an B for bold. Okay, close B. You see it now, welcome is now bold. You understand? But in HTML they are what we call depreciate tags and obsolete tags. Now when a tag is depreciate, it means it is out of the how am I gonna put it now, it's old-fashioned. That's what I mean. Alright, so when a tag becomes depreciate, it means it's old-fashioned, but if peradventure you make use of it, it's still going to work, but we're just letting you know that it's old-fashioned and in the nearest future is going to be obsolete. And when a font becomes obsolete, that means it is totally unacceptable. So the B tag is not really obsolete, but depreciate. So this font is a depreciate font. So the World Wide Web Consortium, World Wide Web is W3C. The W3 there means World Wide Web, then the C there means consortium. So they are in charge of the HTML and so many things that have to do with the web programs and so on and so forth. You could just go about them and know more about them and what they are able to do and what they are capable of doing and what they are there for to do. Right, so now they recommend using the strong tag, strong, instead of the B tag whenever you want to make something bold. So B is depreciate, so use the strong tag. For instance, I want to make the church bold, so I'm just going to use strong. You understand? I'm going to close strong. Alright, you see the church is a little bit big now, not really big but bold. Alright, so that's just how to work with the font tag. So you could add the font face, the font color, the font size, then you could also use strong to make something bold. Okay, so basically that's the only thing you could do with fonts. Now the next thing I'm going to show you is how to link. Okay, how do we link in HTML? Basically under the horizontal row, okay, let's say under the table, there's a table here. I'm going to put a little B arrow here, so break my work. You understand? I like neat codes that could be easily interpreted, not something that is just too close to each other and making it look like some kind of main market. Okay, alright, so let me say click here to know more. Okay, now I'm gonna refresh this now. You see, click here to know more. I want to make this guy a link. How am I gonna make it a link? So I make it a link by using the anchor tag, A for anchor. Alright, so I'm gonna close A. Okay, it's still not going to happen. It's still not going to do anything. Just like the image without the source attribute is useless. Okay, and the font without the face or color or size attribute is useless. Alright, so the anchor tag works with the href attributes. So href talks about where are you pointing to. So I'm going to say this guy is going to point me to about us.html or just about.html. Forget about the us. About.html. So about.html is going to be a page that's going to talk more about the website or the company or the church. So I'm designing for Pentecost Church. So I want a situation whereby when you click this button, this link here, click here to know more. It's going to take me to a page that contains everything, maybe the history or core values or vision or anything about the ministry. Okay, so if it's a company, it's going to talk about everything about the company, what they are here for, why are they here, what are they doing, and the rest of it. Right, so that's just it. Okay, so I'm going to save my work now and do a quick refresh. That's it. So it automatically becomes a link. So when I point to it, it's going to show you a right hand there, a nice hand. Yeah, when you point to this guy now, look at the status bar. The end of the status bar is going to help you figure out the page that is about to be opened when you click that link. So it's trying to open what's about.html. Do we really have any page like about.html in our work? Let's go over to our folder. This is the First Pentecost Church. What I have here is just index, and you know this is our index.html, and that's our home page because the first page of our website. Now there's as you keep creating your pages, they are all going to be lined up here. Okay, so right now we have just one page, which is our home page, the index. You see it, the index.html. You understand? So when I click here now, it's not going to open anything because we've not created any about.html. So that means we need to look for a way to create an about page in this place, an HTML page that's about.html. You see this index and HTML file. Okay, so what I'm going to do now is to let me just give it a try first. Just click on it. It's going to complain file not found slash about.html. It is not found. It's not found anywhere in our server or anywhere on the system. Okay, so I don't have anything like about.html. So what I'm going to do, let me just go back now, and then what I'm going to do to make this thing real is to create the about.html page. How am I going to create the about.html page? Just go over here, go to Notepad. It's going to be a different file altogether. Okay, and then you start the coding afresh. HTML, close HTML. But all of this is nonsense. So what I'm going to do is to just look for a way to select everything, every code here. Okay, and then paste it here. So I'm just going to do some little adjustments here. So for instance, the title is going to be about the ministry. Okay, let's just say about us. Now this is the body, so from here down, okay, let me not remove the let me not remove the horizontal row. Okay, so I'm gonna remove this image, or what I'm gonna do is I want to change this image here. Let me get in another image. Okay, let's not make the codes too complicated for us. I'm gonna leave it like that for the now. So let me leave everything. I just remove the content. You understand? I leave this is a horizontal row, the first one, and then this is the last one. So I'm just going to save it now. Understand? So I want to save it into this folder that was created on the desktop for this purpose. So what's the name I'm going to give to it? This is not the first page. So if I call it index.html, it's wrong because this is on the first page of our website. We already have one page, which is the home page, saved as index.html. So this a different page altogether, and this is the about us page because I already have a link that is expecting an about us page. So I'm just going to say this is about.html. So I'm just going to save this guy now, and that settles it. So I'm going to close this guy now and see what happens. Refresh my work there, and then click here, take us to about. You see, this is about us. This is the about us page. Okay, I've not really done any relevant work here. So what the first thing I'm going to do now, I want to change this image so that okay, let's see how we're going to link back. You see, this link is still trying to link to about.html, so I want to change this now to take us back to the home page. Okay, so I'll navigate back to our code. You see, we have two files here now because we've saved another work about. So I'm going to open the code of this guy. Now I want to change the image. You know, it's no longer man. I use man in the home page. I don't want to use man again for the about us page. Okay, let it not be like everything is man. Alright, so I'm gonna minimize everything here. Close this guy now. Okay, this is our web image. So let me look for a nice image that I'm gonna use. Nice image. Are you nice enough? It says it's not nice, so I'm gonna make it of this guy here. Understand? The Thursday. Gonna minimize this, go back to our images. So just like to download some good images from Google. Right, so this image I'm gonna use the Thursday. Let me just say day. I need something short. Okay, you can go ahead and make it of all of that nonsense, but I don't make use of it, so I just try to rename it to make it easier for me to type in my code instead of trying to cram. I have too many things running in my head, so I can't cram all of that nonsense. Right, so where is it now? This is a code for the about us page. Always make sure you are editing the right code by looking at the title of that's what you're doing. So right here I'm going to change this. Instead of man, I'm going to change it to day. So day.jpg. You understand? I'm going to save my work now. So refresh your work. Day. So click here to go back. Now I'm through with this guy now. Okay, now let me just go back to the index.html page. From here you could just type it here. Since you know where you're going to .html, strike enter. So this index.html page, when you click here, it's going to take you to the about.html page. Right, so I want this one to take us back to index.html. So let's set this code. Excuse me. Now this is the about us page. So the link, where is it? A is just to create a link. So this is the code for the link, and it's linking also about.html. I'm already in about.html, so it makes no sense to link us to this same page. So I'm going to change this now. Since I'm in this page, let this link me back to index.html. Okay, since index is already linking us down to this page should link us back to that page. Alright, so it's a good concept. You understand? One good town deserves another. So click here, come here, and then click here, go to about us. So oh my god, I can't believe we've just done linking now. It seems so easy. Man. Right, so that's just it. So this is how to basically create a link. Okay, but there's sometimes you might want the link to open another window. Right, so let's say for instance now I click this place. Now I don't want it to open right in the same window. I want it to open in another tab, inside a different tab. Okay, so I don't miss out. We use it most of the time when I want to link to an external source. Okay, all right, so what I'm gonna do, okay, let's just close that now. I want to work with the code for the index page. Okay, take note of this so you don't end up editing the about us page thinking you're editing the index page. All right, so I'm just gonna scroll over to the link. All right, this is it's working perfectly because this is the home page. It's linking us to the about.html page. So I'm just gonna give it a target equal underscore blank. Alright, so save your work now and then click on it. Sorry. Okay, this I'm in the about us page, so I'm gonna refresh the home page. Alright, so you see it's opened in another window while it left this one intact. Maybe you did not see. Let me close it again. refresh. Alright, so when I click this, it's going to open a different window. Alright, it's a pretty good stuff. Let's say for instance now there's a link to say click here to visit our Facebook page. Okay, so now if the user was browsing your website before, I wouldn't want to lose a site visitor just to leave my page like that. On maybe he was doing something in my website and then he's not sure, he just saw this thing, say okay, let me click here and go to Facebook. Okay, now he clicks here, gets to Facebook, now forgets that he was doing something in your website before. You understand? Just probably got carried away by all the Facebook nonsense and the rest of it now. So I wouldn't want that to happen. Sometimes they might say okay, I'm through with Facebook, I just close like this, and then he forgot where he was coming from. So that's why it's always a good idea to link to to allow your links to open on a different location only if you're linking to a different page, to a different how would I call it, a different website. Yeah, that's the right word, a different website. So but if it has to do with just internal, maybe home, about us, contact us, never do this, because you will end up scaring people away from your website, because they're going to say, hey, how come for every link I click a new window is going to open? So I'm tired of clicking this small black box there to close, understand? So they're just going to run away from your site. So don't do that, don't try that at home. Okay, so this is how far we could go from here, or from where we started. In the next video I'm just gonna work on the link to create our navigation bar. Okay, but for now I think we're gonna draw the curtain for today in this place.